continue on about your day. Probably, like, head home as soon as possible to change into the leggings.
Mm-hmm.
You get aggressive kitty snuggles.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she spends the first 30 seconds looking offended that you left her. But then she's snuggling.
And the fact that when I left, I didn't actually pick her up to snuggle her, because I usually do, because I'm usually wearing, like, a leather jacket, and that doesn't really show hair. But I left wearing, like, a suit jacket, nice slacks, and a nice, like red top underneath. And I had to be like, honey, no, I'm sorry. A little scritch behind the ears using a couple of fingers, but can't do more than that.
Yeah, just have, like, a little layer of fuzz on the sleeves.
Yeah, and around the ankles. Yeah, didn't work out very well. I offended her, my poor girl.
Yeah, as you're snuggling with Dagda, there's a little pawing at the window near the fire escape, because I'm going to fix a thing that we accidentally retconned where we changed the name of your cat. And you see the, like, orange stray that's kind of adopted you in the past couple of months, but then kind of, like, disappeared for a little bit. It's just pawing at your window to be let in. It's Artie.
Oh yeah.
Oh. We totally accidentally renamed your cat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I go and I open the window for sure.
Goes to hop in, trips a little bit, manages to catch himself, but he kind of was like starfished for a moment on the floor.
Yeah.
Prances like he's going to find food, but in a room where you've never put the food.
Yep.
And then prances back out like he knows what he was doing the entire time.
Just scoping the place out again, been a little bit.
And you just chill out and hang out and chat with Canup. I'll say that was probably on a Friday, so you have weekend ahead of you. And Canup was like, so I know you mostly asked me to look at the programming stuff, but you also told me all about the thing that you did with Doppelganger. And while you were sleeping, I kind of got bored and started digging into news articles.
Oh.
Because I was bored.
Well, what'd you find?
You see, like, several different news articles popping up, and it's quite a bit. Some of them don't even directly mention Doppelganger, but as Canopa explains, they looked at the patterns and just kind of extrapolated and figured most likely Doppelganger was involved in it. It looks like they're pretty active doing criminal things. And then it just kind of, like, dropped off around the time of the vote. And then, like, a couple years later, you know, just like Canopa brings up, so these partially fit. They might not be related though, but there are just certain details, and highlights the details and sends you a list of articles where it's a lot of it's just random Good Samaritan person helping somebody out, and someone was convicted wrongly of something, and this mysterious person was able to prove that they didn't do it, and things like that. Couple people who put in eyewitness reports of crimes that were happening, but then they found all the evidence that they needed, and then when they tried to find the eyewitness, they found the person had no idea what they were talking about. So it looks like Doppelganger kind of dropped off when he started working with Felix's friend, the copycat.
Yeah.
Just kind of dropped off completely, and then a couple years later just started popping up occasionally, randomly, just in different places, just helping people out.
Nice. This is very interesting. Out of character, just clarifying what you were saying. So they were like hanging out with like Phil and stuff, and then once the vote happened, just a lot more like random Good Samaritan stuff started happening, but no one could really like pinpoint who. Okay.
But also a lot of Doppelganger's criminal activities could not be proved it was Doppelganger.
That's true. That is very, very true.
Canopa was just able to extrapolate certain details of the pattern. So, like, there's a good chance, but it looks like You know there was, like, something happened, and then Doppelganger retired, and it looks like after Doppelganger retired, started using his abilities to occasionally randomly help people out. And also, since you're actively looking at it, do you want to maybe see if you can figure anything out about Copycat?
Yes, absolutely.
So roll to pierce the mask. You were not actively hacking a system that is hard to hack into, at least.
Yeah, that's true. 7.
Alright. You get to ask 1.
What can we extrapolate that Copycat was, like, planning to do?
You scroll through different articles that Canopa helps you find that mention Copycat. You see Copycat worked with a bunch of different heroes. Did a lot of work with Felix to the point that some people thought that she and Felix were dating. And neither of them particularly, like, tried to dissuade that, although there was no confirmation of that either. They were just really close friends, and... You're saying, what was she really planning, or?
Did we have any information on what, like, what their intentions were as a person or as a super?
You find mentions that since Copycat could copy people's powers, she helped a lot of people come to understand how their powers work, because she had a lot of experience learning how different powers work. And then finding ways to explain it. So she helped a lot of people. She did a lot of work around the tower and with Vance McCann. She was trying to help build something better and a better foundation for superheroes, and you are able to extrapolate. It doesn't, like, straight up say it, but it's not hard for you to connect the dots that she was helping to fight basically all the anti-super people, all the people who were being problematic. She was helping to stand against them. And you also notice, around the time that people stopped talking about who might have been Doppelganger, there are no more mentions of Copycat.
Weird.
Just like something happened, she vanished, and no one knows, no one talked about it.
That is absolutely bizarre. There's no more articles after what we have found even mentioning, or like, where did she go, or...
I will say, there are things that mention her in relation to things that she had done in the past, but looking through, and Canopa also notes that from a certain point, it was all past tense, not talking about anything new going on with her. Canopa even goes down some of the rabbit holes Bethany lives in. It's like she and a couple other heroes just vanished. I can keep digging on some of the stuff if you want. I mean, it's kind of interesting.
I kind of want to try to dig it back in the super database to see if there's anything else, like any extra information I can pull up about her.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you do that. Would you like to roll to pierce the mask again?
This one would be like hacking back into the system, so would this be unleash my powers?
Oh, are you hacking into the system, or are you just going back to the database to, like, look through the register of known heroes or something?
Well, I want to, like, hack again and see if they've got any more actual information on what might have happened.
Alright, let's get the roll to unleash your powers.
That would be a 9.
American condition, or it's unstable or temporary?
I'm gonna go with temporary. I don't need to be in there too long.
Give me another roll to pierce the mask, see what you're able to find. Or, I guess, assess the situation. Your choice on which questions.
I rolled a 6, so didn't roll well. Unless I do pierce the mask, then I rolled a 9.
I'll allow it if you want to have it be pierce the mask.
Let's do pierce the mask. So I'm gonna kind of reword a little bit for the what do you intend to do question. So what information do we have in the database, if there's any information on what she had intended to do moving forward? Because I know she was like trying to help out, fight the anti-super people, and kind of get things better for the supers so that they could do what they wanted to do. But did she have any like further plans that might kind of correlate with why she disappeared?
It's subtle. You almost don't really catch it, but there were hints that people saw that she and a couple of other people were working towards a goal that was in line with some of the other things that were going on, but there was someone that they were trying to find and someone that they were trying to stop. You get the feeling she and whoever she was working with kept it all very, like, hush, need to know about whoever or whatever that they were doing, but there were signs that it connected to things like the night that supers were taken over by Void Matter, the attack on City Hall. There was something going on, and she was part of a group that knew more than most people did. They were trying to find a way to stop whatever this is. And then maybe once it was done, they would be able to tell people about it. They would have to stop hiding as much. But she definitely strikes you as somebody who had a lot of practice covering her tracks. Hiding in plain sight, although why, you aren't sure, but it doesn't feel like it was a nefarious reason. It feels like maybe it's more safety.
Fascinating.
So you piece this together like a little bit, like near the end of the month. I don't know, do we want to do a scene with Captain Formidable?
Yes.
Yes, let's do a scene with Captain Formidable as you're just doing some really fun strength training and sparring in this room where basically everything is made to be indestructible except for, not always. Not always. I picture she not only teaches you about fighting and strength, but also about control, so there's sometimes where you do things, like I'm picturing stuff like Tai Chi things that are like controlled motions that also takes strength.
Yes. I like it.
And tests how in tune you are with your body as you're moving, and then occasionally it'll be like, as you're going through the motions, sparring time. Let's go.
I feel like that's something I might have like a little bit worked on myself, just like with a little bit of like the control and the strength training. Because when I was going through or talking with Bethany a while back, telling her about how I had lost my powers for a while, and then I had to work to get them back, and just relearning all that kind of stuff. I've done a little bit of that stuff with patience and a little bit of like, I think Madigan probably would have done just generally yoga with trying to like bring some center and structure and all that fun stuff. So
yeah, Captain Formidable, or as you call her for me, takes what you already do and starts to build onto that to help with discipline and balance and knowing when to punch hard enough to break cinder block versus when to punch hard enough to just break like a piece of wood. It's all about control, and also roll to unleash your powers. Why not? Let's do some strength stuff.
Nope. I got a 4.
Oh. Oh no. The dice. The dice have different plans in mind, so mark the experience.
Yep. Hey, I'm moving forward a little bit.
So I picture what happens is you're sparring, and it's been a while since it's happened, but you know what it feels like when your strength just kind of dips, and it usually comes back relatively quickly. But you are in the middle of a sparring match with someone who you have seen lift a Volkswagen over her head before.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Roll to take a powerful blow.
So I got an 8.
Alright, on a 7 to 9, choose one. You lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, you give ground, your opponent gains an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain's Mark II conditions.
Gonna say I give ground. I don't want any conditions.
As you feel your strength vanish a little bit, you know you can still handle yourself in a fight, but you also know you do not want to be hit by this woman. So you start to backpedal. You're still maintaining good form, good defense, and she realizes and she stops like, what's wrong?
Just having one of those rare moments where my strength kind of dips a little bit. It'll be back in a few minutes.
How long has this been happening?
Since I was about 15 or 16, I lost my powers completely for a little while, and I really had to work to get them back. And then just randomly, every once in a blue moon, it'll dip quite low, but it's never gone for more than a few minutes.
Alright, well, needed to take a break anyway. Gestures for you to sit down somewhere, hands you a water bottle. How long were they gone when you had to work to get them back? How long did that take?
It took a couple of months, and I really had to work at it. I spent a lot of time at the gym, spent a lot of time just general strength training again. Took a very long time to even get past like lifting like 50 pounds before it went up again. But even then, like if I skimp on my workouts, I do get drops a lot more often. So my workouts happen quite a bit. I have a little mini gym on the roof of my apartment.
It's gotta be a lot of work. It's not too uncommon for people to around a certain age develop power and have it fade. Not quite as common for them to be able to keep it up like you have. It's impressive.
It's not without its struggles, but I do enjoy the strength. It's especially fun when dealing with them bar rats.
Oh yeah. Sometimes that is the highlight of my life.
Oh yeah.
The highlight of my day to be able to kick someone out for being a jerk, but
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
What made you decide to do the superhero thing though?
When I was a lot younger, it was more the fact that there weren't really a lot of people around helping the little people, and I developed my strength pretty early teens, and the first experience with using my strength outside of just the gym and just like wowing myself was a woman had her purse snatched by some petty thug, and I chased after him and probably didn't need to beat him up as badly as I did, but at that age it would have been unheard of to have done that. And I just kind of continued helping, never went that far with fighting against the thug again, just enough to get them down and get the police there. But I did really enjoy helping people who weren't really on a lot of other people's radars. But after a while, when my power dipped a little bit, I kind of dove more into the tech stuff, which I found had a lot of skill with that. I picked it up really, really quickly. So focused on that a lot, but still focused on getting my strength back. But I won't lie, the whole losing my powers thing kind of was a good thing in the long run.
I get that. I respect it. Can't say I've had that happen to me, but I have gotten hurt before. It's not an easy life.
Yeah. I lost my powers right in the middle of a fight too, so that wasn't fun.
Ouch. That's quite possibly the worst timing. I'm glad you survived that.
Broke a bone. Was fine in a couple of weeks.
You built yourself back up and kept going after it.
Oh yeah. I couldn't not keep going. Yeah, there's still a lot of people out there who get forgotten, so having someone who will actually go forward and help them without having to wait for the police or worry that, oh, it's not a big enough thing to get the attention of the supers or whatever. Like, even just walking a girl down the street to her car because there's some creepy guy down in the corner makes a big difference.
She nods approvingly, holds out her hand for a fist bump.
Fist bumps back.
I definitely can respect that. I've got some friends who think the same way. Maybe one day I'll be able to bully them into coming to one of my cookouts so I can introduce you. I think you get along really well.
Oh, you've got the best cookouts.
I try, and then she looks past you for a moment and says, "Oh, hey, Molly." And as you see Molly Mallet come in, just big hammer slung over her shoulder.
My whole back goes straight, and I'm like, oh my god. Because again, Captain Formidable, Major Molly Mallet were the two main prominent posters on my wall.
Probably still are, let's be real.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As you just immediately straighten up, you feel your strength coming back.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And Molly's like, "So what's going on in here? Hope I'm not interrupting anything. I can step out if you need." And Captain Formidable's like, "No, we're just taking a break from sparring in the middle of a workout session." She kind of like looks
a 50-pound weight and just kind of toss it. Just kind of showing off a little bit.
Captain Formidable looks and nods and says, "Care to join us?" "Certainly."
Yeah.
And so we cut out on you sparring with Captain Formidable and Major Molly Mallet, and
I've got the biggest grin on my face.
yeah, just having the best time.
Oh yeah.
And before we cut out to get back to the rest of the story, can you just roll mundane for me?
Mundane?
Yeah.
13!
Oh boy. As you're sparring, you realize something about Molly Mallet that probably very few people know. Sure, she's strong, but her power isn't super strength. It's density manipulation. And she's really, really good at manipulating the density specifically of her suit and her hammer.
So cool.
She's still strong, but most of her power and ability comes from the density manipulation more than just the strength. The strength is... a lot of her strength is working out. Some of it might also be a little bit of the density manipulation. Just a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit.
Yeah. So we end off on that scene of the three of you just having a blast, trying to beat the crap out of each other.
Grins and laughing because it's so much fun that we don't really have to hold back a whole lot.
Yeah, it is kind of nice. You have been listening to Queen City Supers, a graveyard tape-side story using the game Masks. Masks: A New Generation is a superhero role-playing game in which a team of young heroes fights villains, saves lives, and tries to figure out who they are. Featuring Caitlin as Madigan, aka Scarlet Sentinel, the Janus. Jess as Bethany Bertolucci, aka Glider, the Beacon. Ian as Marcus, aka Kid Phoenix, the Doomed. And Brianna Jean as the Keeper and Producer.